Now we will be studying about the thyroid gland, and this is the largest endocrine gland, of course, in the human body, and it is composed of two lobes which are located on either side of the trachea. These are the two lobes which are located on either side of the trachea and are interconnected with thin flap of connective tissue called isthmus. This is the thin flap of connective tissue. The thin flap of the connective tissue is called the isthmus. The thyroid gland is composed of the follicles and the stromal tissue. Okay, so this is the picture. This you'll be able to see the vocal cord. This is the larynx. This is the parathyroid, and this is the parathyroid lobe. The parathyroid lobe, and this is the trachea. Now it is located below the thyroid cartilage of the larynx, and it is a bilobed structure connected by isthmus. This is the connected by isthmus. This is the bilobed structure connected by the isthmus, and it is the only endodermal gland. Endodermal means the innermost gland, and homologous means it has the same relation to endostyle of the protochordate. The endostyle means that it is longitudinal and ciliated fold located at ventral pharyngeal wall. This protochordate develops as a ventral outgrowth from pharyngeal gland. It is a ventral outgrowth from the pharyngeal gland, and it consists of the many follicles formed by follicular cells and interfollicular stroma. Interfollicular stroma, these are called the parafollicular cells. So these are the follicular cells and the parafollicular cells are there, and the follicles contain colloid, and which synthesis of thyroxine and hormone takes place, where synthesis of thyroxine and the hormone takes place in the colloid. Now the point number 6 is growth, maintenance and excretion of this gland is controlled by TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. Now it produces the thyroxine, which is a glycoprotein in nature, and it is a derivative of amino acid tyrosine. It's a derivative of the amino acid tyrosine. And for its synthesis, this iodized hormone requires some iodine. And this iodine is absorbed by the follicular cell present over here from the blood. Then they are released into the follicular. Then these are released into the follicular cavity. They are released over there. Now, tyrosine monomer of thyroglobulin with iodine and gives the T4 and T3. T3 is the tetraiodothyroxine, thyronine, and this is called the and there is the T3, which is tetraiodine thyronine. So triiodine thyronine is the T3 and tetraiodine means T4, and these are essential for the normal rate of hormone synthesis in the thyroid. Now deficiency of iodine in our diet, it results in hypothyroidism and enlargement, and in this case what happens, this enlargement of the thyroid gland takes place, and this is called commonly called goiter. Now in case of pregnancy, if it happens in hypothyroidism, and it causes and the development of the fetus, it lead to stunted growth, that is called cretinism, mental retardation, low intelligence quotient, abnormal skin, deaf, mutism, etc. And in adult women, this hypothyroidism may cause the menstrual cycle to become irregular. And in case of hyperthyroidism, uh, the rate of synthesis and secretion of the thyroid hormone is increased due to its abnormal high levels, leading to a condition called hyperthyroidism. It affects the physiology of the body at a tremendous rate. Thus, these thyroid hormones, it plays a very important role in the regulation of the basal metabolic rate, and it also supports the process of RBC formations. It controls the metabolism of carbohydrate, fat, and proteins, and it maintains water and electrolytic balance. And it also secretes a protein called TCT, which full form is thyrocalcitonin, which regulates the blood calcium level. Now, functions of thyroxine is that it's let us study the main hormone. It is the main hormone to influence all the metabolic processes in our body, and this number 2 is that it increases the intake of O2, which results in the increased cellular respirations and energy production. Now, it also controls the basic metabolic rate, BMR, respiratory quotient, that is called RQ, and the embryonic development. Now, if there is a deficient of iodine in water, now in case of tadpole, what happens? It fails to metamorphose into adult, and that is why newts and salamander show neoteny. This neoteny means the delaying of the physical development. And what does it promote? It promotes growth, differentiation of the tissues, and in development of mental faculties. So mental growth is retarded. Now it reduces ketone formation in the blood, and it influences blood pressure, heat production, and growth and activity of nervous system and the sex organs. Now it has a very important role in osmoregulation and the molting for fishes, amphibians, and the reptiles. Now calcitonin, that is secreted from the parafollicular or the C cells of this gland, and it is a polypeptide in nature of about 32 amino acids. Now calcium ion concentration decrease of calcium ion of plasma, and that is antagonistic to parathermal, means it is in opposite to action of parathermal. Now calcitonin also prevents bone dissolution, and it enhances the loss of calcium ion in urine.